Hello, Kylie here at the Funnel Flippers. It's been a minute since we touched on our reputation slash reviews area. I say reviews, High Level says reputation, but we haven't done a deep dive into this in a long time, and it's came a long way since then. So I want to take a minute just to kind of deep dive through this area, tell you a little bit about what's possible, what's new, and one important note I have. Sammy and I have a digital business, which means we don't have Google Business Profile integrated. It does look much better when you do integrate Google Business Profile. So keep that in mind. We're not going to have a ton of actual data on this screen, but I'm going to explain how everything works and what everything is anyway. So when you click reputation, first thing you're going to see is your overview. It defaults to the last 6 months. You can change that if you want to view like a smaller time span. You're always going to have your AI recap too, which essentially is just going to say, hey, this is what like the sentiment from your reviews is. You can also review how many invites you've sent out, how many reviews have actually been received, what the general sentiment is, if you're receiving mostly positive or mostly negative, and it'll tell you the percentages here. Average rating of stars. You'll be able to see your various listings across the platforms right here. And then you can see trends for how many invites you've sent versus how many reviews you've actually received. You can see your most recent request and then actually review your reviews here. You might notice there's a new little tab here too that says competitor analysis. So again, we don't have Google integrated, so it's not going to show us all these things, but we now have the option to go ahead and literally add our competitors directly in this area and get insights into their reviews and how that's doing. I don't know how many reviews that one might have. Let's do Tartine Bakery in San Francisco. I'm trying here. So you're just going to search and then you can hit your add competitor and you're going to see that we have a little bit of information here. The rest is still kind of populating, but we're going to be able to see things like average rating, how many reviews they have. This, again, will populate. So we're going to give this a minute and kind of let it work, but we will come back. Actually, let's just add another one and see if we can get something to populate a little faster. Okay, how about Costco? Nope, that has even more reviews. All right, let's try the park. All right, so right here again, we can see 4.8, 779 reviews. That's also still populating, but we will go ahead and move on and we'll kind of circle back to this. So do expect to wait just a couple minutes for that. All right, so requests. This is where you can actually go ahead and send out manual requests for your review. You can also do this via a workflow. If I send a send review request workflow step to a client, they're going to populate in here as well, even though I'm not sending it manually. So you can see who it's sent to, what their email or phone number is, who it was sent by, how it was sent, what time, status. So this will always say opened, retries, and then action. That action button doesn't seem to really be working, so I don't know what's going on there, but we'll ignore that. So before you start sending out review requests, we want to come into settings and make sure we're kind of configuring this option. So you have your reviews AI, which you can either turn completely off. You can use suggestive, so it'll suggest a response for you, but it's not going to go ahead and respond and publish that. And then auto response. So if this is turned on, you will automatically be responding via AI to reviews that are left. So right now I have suggestive turned on, which just kind of, again, is assisted responses, but it's not going to publish those for me. And then to configure your bot, if you do want to use auto responses, you can set a wait time for, like, let's say 1 day. I come here and I can edit. And this is where you can essentially give some instructions for the bot that's going to be handling your review responses. Select a tone. You can, make it fixed or dynamic. This is going to be helpful if you might have people responding in different languages. Review source for us is just going to be Facebook, but you can select anything you need to there. Review type. So if you want to personally respond to, let's say you get a 1-star review and you just want to personally respond and that you don't want to have an AI response, you could filter that way. And then you can also go ahead and add a footer, and then let's generate. Okay, thanks. Hey, So this just kind of gives you a sample of what a response would look like to a really positive review with this AI bot turned on. You can also create them as well this way. It has 5 new agents, so I'm not going to turn that on right now. We'll do that in a different video where we dive kind of deeper into those. But if you do go ahead and create the starter agents, it says right here, it's going to create 5. And these are going to be kind of this is the legacy. So these are going to be definitely a more finessed version, advanced version. That's neither of those is the word I'm looking for, but I think y'all get the point. Okay, review links. So this is where you can actually add all of your different locations that you want to collect reviews for. So Sammy and I specifically, we literally only use Facebook. We don't really do a whole lot of reviews, but you can see that option's there. You can add essentially as many as you want. And then you would actually add those in integrations, by the way. So just be aware, like this is how you would integrate these. So once we go back here, if we turn on review balancing, something that's going to be important to know is this is essentially going to allow you to select how your reviews are sent out and for which platform. So for example, Sammy and I only have one, but if we had Facebook, Google, and Yelp, and I wanted to send equal amounts of traffic to each, then I would go ahead and select that platform in here, and I can either auto balance or just adjust the percentage of reviews. So if I wanted 50% going to Google, but 25% to Facebook and Yelp, I could adjust those here. And that essentially would mean that if I had 4 people want to leave me reviews, or I send out 4 review requests, 2 of them would get a Google link, 1 would get Yelp, and 1 would get Facebook. That just ensures that all of the platforms we're collecting reviews on are getting essentially equal amounts of attention and are being sent out automatically, so we don't have to like keep track of what links are going where. All right, so in SMS, email, and WhatsApp requests, this is all essentially going to be the same thing, where you can set up when you want to go ahead and send the check-in, until clicked, repeat this every, let's say 3 days, max amount of retries is 2. What this means is that if I send a review request to Sammy, and it'll be sent automatically, if she does not click that review request, 3 days later, she'll get another one. If she still does not click that review request, 3 days later, she'll get another one, and then it will stop. If she does click it, she will not get these essentially reminders. That's what I think about them as reminders. So we have new template. It's going to come up with a template here. You can edit that directly in this area, which is the same. It looks literally the same as the snippet builder. Or you can go ahead and create new templates for those retries as well. So if I hit save, you're going to see that I have the option to, hold on, new template. Oh, nope, I lied. So this is where we select which template goes to which. So if I do create new, let's go ahead and just do this. You can see if I hit this, that's not what I wanted. Goodness gracious. Okay, if I hit this button, you can say this is new template. Let's say we want the happy experience check-in for retry number 1 and 2, then I would hit save. So that's how we're going to actually set which template goes out based on which check-in it is. It's going to be exactly the same for emails as well. So you can see we can preview and edit details, edit the templates, clone, restore, etc. I can toggle this on immediately, 3 days, Bye. Same thing for WhatsApp. We don't have that connected. It's going to look exactly the same. Reviews QR. So this is going to be super, super nice for anyone that has like an in-person location, anyone that wants to put maybe a review on like their business card or invoices or receipts, things like this. You can go ahead and create your QR codes directly in HighLevel now. You can point them to a variety of locations. One of the options is to go ahead and set them up for your review link. It is a native option, so you do not have to actually paste in the link. You can see this is your review link by default if you create it through this area. If you create it through the QR codes area, it's going to prompt you and ask you, hey, what is this QR code going to be leading toward? Your review link is one of those. So you can, of course, customize this, kind of download just that QR link by itself, and then add them to whatever material you want to. Spam reviews, recommend everyone turn this on. It's essentially going to detect any reviews that are potentially spam. They will have the option to override if need be. So if something is detected as spam, but it's not actually spam, you can override that and actually publish it. And then, yeah, they won't show up in your review widget. That's the big thing. I wanted to double check that. We'll talk about review widget in a minute. And then really the only other thing is integrations. This is where you can come, we already kind of touched on, and add all of your different integrations area. Okay. Let's go back and check our competitor analysis. Okay, reviews were not retrieved. That one's still populating. So we're going to go ahead and send a request. Let's say we set up a workflow and I have an automated review request directly inside of that workflow to be delivered via email and SMS. But maybe someone says, hey, I didn't actually receive that email. Can you resend it to me? Sure, I'll go ahead and resend. That's fine. Or you have someone new that you want to send something to. So I will actually... No, I'm going to use this one because I didn't already send myself this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just send it via email because it's not actually my phone number and I don't want it to be for someone. And then I'm just going to select send review request. And 1 second, we'll take a look at that and be right back. Okay, please do not pay attention to how many unread emails I have. This is my, this is definitely my spam email. So you can see I went ahead, I got a review. I'm going to say, hey, let's write a review. And it should bring up our Facebook link. I'm going to continue, maybe. Okay, so there's reviews. It will allow me to actually go ahead and leave a review. It'll populate that box and everything automatically. I'm not logged in right now, so obviously that's not happening, but it does make it super easy for someone to leave a review for you. 1 second. There's one more thing we've got to go over here. So reviews, if I go back here, you're going to be able to see that that status is updated to open for both of these, which is kind of nice because you can track and see who's doing what. As far as the review area, this is kind of what it looks like. You can go ahead and click your AI summary and choose which one to actually give you the summary for. You can filter by ratings, filter by sources, by date, and then select spam, not spam. AI summary is going to be here. Actual reviews are going to be here. You always have the option to go ahead and reply right in-house, mark as spam or delete. You can see your average rating right here. And then you also have the option to send a review request this way as well. It'll populate that same little box we just saw. Widgets. Widgets is super nice because widgets, you can actually take those reviews and design them into whatever widget you want to, and then add it to your photo pages, your website, or any type of outside software you might be using, like a website. For example, if you're using WordPress, you can put this right in WordPress. You can toggle right here for desktop versus mobile view. And see, I already have a couple here created, but you can create new and it'll allow you to essentially create one from scratch. I'm going to hit cancel, or you can use any of the templates, which are super, they're pretty stinking nice. You can toggle back and forth with the templates, so you can always see how they're going to look on different devices. And then if you hit edit, you'll have the opportunity to select all. You can do just Google, just Facebook, just whatever platform you want to. You can go ahead and kind of adjust the way these look, add a max, filter by ratings. We can turn powered by on or off. And then clicking through here, you can do things like heading, description, choosing what you actually show. You can change your theme, so you can have the ability to update all of the branding to be customized. And then your settings is just going to kind of allow you to embed the website. It's going to give you the website code. Again, you can kind of toggle on like that, hid the date right there. We can do a summary or not do a summary. So if I turn on AI summary, it's going to show a summary at the top right there. Or we can turn that off. Totally up to you. And then listing area is going to essentially let you see all of your different listings across the internet. I'm not going to go, actually, we'll go ahead and do this. Why the heck not? Review your listings. We really don't have any, but it is a kind of nifty feature if you're going to be working super heavily on reviews. I'm going to pause and actually wait for this to come back quick. Okay, so you can see, oh no, I have a really bad optimization rate. Everything's coming up as invisible, which is unsurprising for us, honestly. We have boost my visibility now. You're going to come up with the option to basically bring your plans. That is going to literally kind of audit this and give you suggested changes and actually make some changes on your behalf to boost your online visibility. All right, Google Business Profile. We don't have Google Business Profile integrated, as you can see, because we can't have one because we're digital. Google Business Profile is going to allow you to essentially do kind of the same things that you can do inside of this listings area. I wouldn't say essentially the same things, similar things. It's going to give you tips and tools to optimize your profile, suggested edits, and basically allow you to see your performance of your Google Business Profile right here in the platform. Again, this is going to be really, really big for our local businesses, brick and mortar businesses, things like that. Let's come back here one more time and see if this is done yet. All right, competitor analysis. Yay. Okay, so now we have a reputation score for Tank Hill Park. It says 36. Measured by your business performance in Google over the last 90 days. So that's kind of nifty. And then we're just going to give you kind of strengths, weaknesses, so that you compare how they're doing versus how you're doing. You can see we have a little sentiment heat map where it's going to say, hey, here's positive reviews, here's negative reviews. I can toggle over. Whoops, I toggled over to my stats. So your business versus Tartine versus Tank Hill Park. And then it's going to say, hey, here's the ranking by source. So Tartine Bakery is going to be heavy on Google. So is Tank Hill Park. And Tank Hill Park is also on TripAdvisor as well. So kind of cool just to be able to see directly into your competitors' reviews. If you ever want to delete anyone, you can literally just hit this. It's going to delete those. And then all 3 slots are freed back up. So if you have any questions, definitely let us know. To give you a heads up, there is a video review option coming to your reviews. I cannot find it in here. So as soon as that is available, I'm going to create another video showing you how to utilize the video reviews. But again, I can't find it anywhere. So if I can't find it, you probably can't find it. But we'll figure that out and expect another one coming. If you have any questions, let us know.